So if you guys haven't seen Normal World yet, it's basically Louder with Crowder, but much, much worse. And I know you're thinking, I know some people out there like, it couldn't get worse than Louder with Crowder. Believe me, this is much worse. Even just from the perspective of a show, like these guys were both co-hosts on Crowder. And you go, okay, well, two co-hosts could make a show together and it could work. Well, it doesn't. It feels like two co-hosts doing a show. It feels super awkward, disjointed, like no one's taking the lead. Everyone's just waiting for the other ones to talk. It's one of the most awkward podcasts I've almost ever seen. It's very bad. But then, and that's all I thought it was just a podcast. Well, it turns out it's a sketch show. And I love sketch comedy. So I decided we're going to review some of these sketches. Are they going to let their right-wing opinions get in the way of comedy? Spoiler, the fuck yes they will. The purpose of most comedy is to make you laugh. This comedy is to make you think. Because we're thinkers over here on the right wing. If you didn't know. Facts ring a bell.
Let's look at the stats. I've got the facts.
So here we go listening to the first episode of Normal World. Now, not the first episode of the podcast. They call the podcast and the sketch show the same thing. And the sketches come out on the podcast, but then the sketch show is on a different channel than the podcast. It's all run by fucking idiots. That's why you need a host. You got a bunch of fucking co-hosts over there running the show.
But you can still question them.
What did you think the second it went in? Made a bad mistake.
Yeah, it's true. Sorry. Has anybody been stabbed in Georgia lately?
And this might sound like it came from the middle of the pandemic. I know, something you don't even remember anymore, right? This was made 1 year ago. So mid-2023. So just keep that in mind while you're watching. And let's begin.
Hi everybody, welcome to this Sunday evening's meeting of Victims Anonymous. I'd like to thank you all for coming. If you're interested in some nourishment, we do have some vegan baked cookies and some ethically sourced fair trade coffee. You're welcome to it, that's complimentary. If you could follow the rules, please do wear your mask. Unless you're talking, eating, breathing, or doing really anything with your mouth at all, or you just don't want to wear it, just leave it haphazardly dangling from your ear or under your chin to make others comfortable.
Wow, there you go. Finally someone says it. We've never heard this point back in 2020. Like, I feel like this isn't even a thing people argue about on Twitter anymore.
Because we live in a time of fear. Yes? All right. If you'd like to go ahead and share your trauma, please do. If you're just here to listen, that's okay too. It's okay to be not okay. Remember that, okay, guys? It's okay to be not okay. The love of my life was murdered behind a Chili's. And I think some of you that have been here know that.
And you go, okay, so what's the premise? The premise is that lefties are so sensitive that they need somewhere to go to cry about the lamest of shit. Sure, sounds like Twitter, the thing that a bunch of right-wing people are onto. But okay, you think that premise could be made funny. And you'll notice this throughout this whole entire thing, is each one of these premises has potential. But it's just done by the wrong people. And it comes off as something that, even if you're in the middle, it's not trying to make you laugh. It's just for their group of people, and that's it.
And I just want to say welcome, and again, my name is Brant.
Hi, Brand.
If I could just encourage you guys to share, and remember, what you hear here stays here, okay, guys? Okay, so if anybody wants to share their trauma, I'd sure appreciate it, but again, you don't have to do that. We can just look at each other. Okay?
I'll go.
Thank you.
My name's Kyler, he, him.
Hi, Kyler.
So, I made the mistake of letting my children watch that Disney movie, Snow White and the Seven Dwarves. Besides the use of the word doors, which is so fucking antiquated, there's a serious sexual assault problem going on, and it's her true love, Prince Florian. But besides, if it's not bad enough that he gives her true love's kiss, he does it when she's asleep. Like, what the fuck, man?
So in a period of almost 2.5 minutes, you get 2 jokes. We'll all sit here in silence, and Snow White was offensive. He also mentioned his pronouns, so you know that'll get the conservatives going. Even just the mere mention of pronouns. That's funny to them. And the kind of weird irony about this sketch is, like, to a regular guy, you watch it and you go, is this what's going on in a Republican's head? Are you guys thinking about this fucking dumb shit all the time? Masks and pronouns, and this is all you're thinking about? You know, and that's kind of the risk you take, just appealing to your audience, the low-hanging fruit, dumbest joke, worst writing, loving type of audience. Yeah, they'll slap this shit right up. And you feel like you're doing a good thing for Republicans because you're putting their message out there, but you're doing such a bad job that you're actually making yourselves look worse.
No, it's not okay. It's all right. So you must have consent, and even if you get consent, if she decides later.
Here's a gross little moment where this dude spits all over himself and wipes it away real quick. So you know it's not supposed to be part of the sketch because he tries to wipe it away. But then it's like, why leave that in there? Are you only doing one take? Why would you use that take? It's fucking gross.
Even if you get consent, if she decides later that it's not okay, that if she regrets it, then it's just not okay, man. Like, my kids saw this shit.
How old are your children?
4 and 7, man.
Nice.
Thank you, Kyler, for being so brave today. So brave. Okay? Would anyone else like to share?
Hi, I will. My name is Andrea. She, her.
Hi, Andrea. Hi.
Today I was at a restaurant, and an older, white, of course.
And every single joke is like, is it a joke or is that just what you think of lefties? I can't even tell.
Cisgender male, labeled someone who was working there, wait. Just a second. Wait. I can't, I'm sorry.
It's okay if you can't finish, but this is a very safe space.
Wait. I just can't. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys.
So I don't actually even get this joke. Is it just that, do they like just go by wait staff now? Like there's no gender to it? I haven't even heard that. I don't even know if that's, I think you can still call them waiters and waitresses. I'm going to say based on where they get their material from, it's probably some Twitter argument from 4 years ago.
It's okay.
I can't.
It's okay to not be okay. Thank you for being so brave. So brave. Would anybody else like to share their trauma today?
Abdul?
Hi, Abdul.
Oh, hello.
Okay, so the camera pans to Abdul. You almost kind of get a chuckle right there because you go, okay, great, I get the joke. I get this next joke. and it's a great premise. Let's see how they fumble this one, just like everything else.
Yes, I am Abdul. I am a refugee here. I fled my home country of Afghanistan when it was taken over by the Taliban.
Oh, I believe it's pronounced Taliban.
Okay. When the Taliban came, they broke into my house and they beheaded my wife.
Wife. Labeling.
What is this label?
Wife is a very oppressive term.
So these guys will have like a good premise, and then it just all falls into pieces. Oh, wife is a possessive term. What?
But she is my wife.
My wife? You're using such possessive language. They beheaded my wife. Yeah, human beings aren't something you own.
Yeah, that headless woman isn't your property, pal.
I think we're all being a little ethnocentric to Abdul right now.
Now I will say that line where he says, "Oh, they beheaded my wife." So possessive. That's almost funny. It didn't make me laugh, but it's probably the funniest line in the whole episode. It's like a 20-minute episode of sketches. It's probably the best line. But how do you not hit a bunch of good lines when you have this premise? This is a good premise. So don't let them off the hook just because they squeezed one in there. Remember that a good sketch show like Key and Peele, The Chappelle Show, you're getting multiple laughs per sketch. It's not one laugh per, what are we, 5 minutes into this sketch now?
You're right. I'm sorry, Abdul.
It's okay. It's okay.
Abdul, please continue, please.
So this part is the most hard for me. After beheading my wife, these same men took my only 2 children and into the street, and they shot them in the head like dogs.
He's doing it again.
My children? He acts like everyone's his property.
Those 2 shot kids aren't your property, pal.
Headed like dogs. I love dogs.
They shot my children? Okay, yeah, that sounds a little racist also.
Totes racist.
I'm afraid they're
And now it's completely falling apart. We're back to grasping at straws.
right, Abdul. You are not respecting the rules of Victims Anonymous.
Rules?
Yes, there's a list of rules or words you can't say, if you notice right over there.
And then we're introduced to this list of banned left-wing words. But really, it's just the guys thinking up the silliest shit they fucking can. It doesn't really have anything to do with the left. It's just a bunch of, silly words. Some of them are, but then most of them are just ridiculous. You go, is this all it takes to make the right-wingers laugh? A list of silly words? And there's something, too, where it's... Because it's all not left-wing words, it's all just silly words, you don't get the image of these left-wing guys writing down these words. You get the image of your crew standing around a whiteboard giggling as they're thinking of the silliest words they can. And now not only am I taken out of the sketch, but I'm reminded about how gay you guys are.
If you notice right over there, you've said half of them. I have to ask you to leave. You need to leave, Abdul, until you can respect the rules of the safe space.
But I am refugee. I have nowhere to go. These cookies you have, this is all I have eaten in weeks.
Those cookies aren't your property, pal.
Joe, I've already told him he should leave. It's okay. I've told him he should leave. Go. No one wants you here.
I know this feels like eternity, but the sketch is almost over. Don't worry.
This is why we should be vetting people. Yeah. Now, would anybody else like to share their story of how they were victimized?
I will. My name is Aaron. My pronouns are Zezer.
Hi, Aaron.
So, this is hard for me to talk about, but the other day, when I was at Starbucks getting my drink, the barista, Debris still wrote my name down in the cup, and when I saw it, it said Aaron with 2 A's.
I'm sorry.
Now you may be thinking, it's just a bad sketch. It's just one bad sketch. No. This is the sketch that they opened the show with. This is the sketch that sets the theme of the entire show. They're proud enough to put this first. The first sketch of the Chappelle Show is Blind Supremacy. It's the blind black guy who's part of the KKK. On Key and Peele, the first sketch was the bitch sketch, which is a classic. On The Whitest Kids You Know, it's the Hitler rap, which back in 2007, that type of thing hadn't been overdone to death. And it's still funny if you go back and watch it. And yeah, so this left-wing meeting of them bitching, it's a horrible sketch, but it does perfectly set the theme of the show. The theme of the show is it's slow, boring, and against the left. That's the theme. And they have like 30 sketches out, but for most of the sketches I saw, this is basically it. They do deviate a little bit every now and then, but it's never done right. So next we launch into a little commercial for tampons for men, because transgenders.
I see you're on one of those tough menstruations.
You know it, girlfriend. It's only 9 a.m. and I've already had to change my pants twice.
You need to try.
Isn't it so funny that these lefties, they think they can have periods when they're men? Except for nobody even really thinks that. Like, only the 3 most mentally ill transgenders even believe that. So we get through that little commercial, and then we get to the second big sketch of the show. A very Klaus Schwabian style sketch.
Okay, pal, turn on kitchen lights.
Turning on kitchen lights now.
Pal, turn on kitchen lights brighter.
This is the green setting for the environment.
So if you want to play a drinking game with this video, it's pause before every joke and guess what it's going to be, just based on the hint that it's all has to do with Klaus Schwab. By the way, look at these ratty ass carrots that she bought. Oh, you bought the worst carrots in the store?
Okay. Pal, remind me to get lunch meat on my shopping list.
I've added bugs to your shopping list.
No, not bugs. Roast beef, turkey.
Your family will eat bugs now.
And so many of these right-wingers talk about this eating the bugs thing, that you wonder, is this even a thing that anyone said at the WEF? And it kind of makes you think, like, I don't know, I'll try some bugs every now and then. Is it really that big a deal to eat a bug? I mean, you eat sea bugs, lobsters, crabs. Why not eat a deep-fried spider every now and then?
They are healthier.
Okay. Hal, play my favorite TV show.
So no one told you were getting facts today. Your brain is inflamed, your heart's enlarged, but that's okay. If you're
So you see this and you go, Oh, I get it. It's kind of a wink and a nod to the fact that the guy from Friends died of a heart attack, and they're doing the vaccine parody thing. But I looked it up, and that actually happened after this was released. So this is just, yeah, let's do Friends except for with a vaccine. So it's goes from actually maybe a little bit of a clever joke to they're just throwing darts at the wall.
Vax, then you'll be second tier. You need a new vax every week and every month, 30 times a year. So I'll get vaxxed for you. I'll get vaxxed for
And just note that you and your buddies could make a better vaccine parody song in an afternoon. Vax That Ass Up was better than this. It almost makes you think, does Dave Lando and his crew think that Republicans are that dumb to accept something such low quality?
Hal, stop. I don't really remember the show being like this.
This is the updated version. It is much better.
Just play music.
You need to check your white privilege. You've stolen everything you own. You're going to prison, 'cause Pal listens to everything you say on your phone.
Hal, stop. I don't say anything incriminating on the phone.
And I love that these guys think that high tech is an iPad with a face on it. This is what high tech would look like if you asked someone from like the 80s, I guess. I think we're past this. Yeah, I think we all have iPads. By the way, imagine if your Siri spoke in a voice like this. You'd be bullying it all the time. Nothing it said, it could never threaten you. You'd be like, shut up, dork. You'd be like, man, I have to change the voice settings on this thing. I'm missing all sorts of meetings. Every time it starts talking, I just start bullying it and saying, dork, you're a dork. Steven Crowder owns you. You're a fat comedian. Your jokes are right-wing filler.
I don't say anything incriminating on the phone.
Hi, I'd like to order a large Supreme hand tossed with everything on it, except black olives. I hate those.
I really don't see how that...
I hate those. Blacks.
Pal, stop. This is an infringement of my privacy.
No, it isn't, Angela. You hit I agree on Pal's terms of service.
Oh, come on. No one even reads that whole thing.
It almost feels like we're not even watching a sketch. It almost feels like we're watching like some weird right-wing PSA where they're just kind of warning you of what's going to come. I mean, how many right-wing videos are out there where they'd be like, well, they are going to do all that? You know, how many right-wingers would just say, but they will do that? Are they doing that now? So what's the sketch then?
Pal hears all. Pal sees all. You shouldn't have done that, Angela.
Okay, we're winding down from the sketch, and we're thinking, okay, what's this last joke gonna be? Hopefully it's not another one of Dave Landau's points disguised as a joke. We'll see.
Pal has a website you can go to for your mental health needs.
Okay, pal. You win. I'll eat the bugs, too.
That's what Pal likes to hear. Can I play you a song?
Sure. Yeah. I like that song. It's my favorite. Or...
And the joke is, left-wing stuff is funded by China. And you go, wait a minute, but isn't that's what the right-wingers think though, right? So again, it's not really a joke, it's just, hey, this is what we believe, right? And you see, both of those sketches had potential, but it's this right-wing political brain rot that gets in the way and makes it so you can't see what's good. And so when there's nothing good, what you're left with is this Republican circle jerk. Oh guys, circle jerk, that's a funny word. Write it down on the board.
I have to ask you to leave.
So this next skit, it's basically a service of gay army men that will replace your kid if he's too white or straight with like a black baby. And that's the whole sketch. And basically the only joke in it is they say over and over again, it's all in a gay's work. It's all in a gay's work. And it's like, yeah, I'm sure that joke has been made 10,000 times by gay people. So you're using their joke.
Wow. Sir's perfect.
All in a gay's work. All in a gay's work.
And so they have these army guys, and to show you that they're the gay army, they're wearing 3 rhinestones. Fake army vest off Amazon, $6. Fake helmet off Amazon, $12. Rhinestones off Amazon, 50 cents? I mean, you couldn't have thrown a couple of ribbons on there or something. So just another terrible sketch that drones on for way too long. And has this feeling of like just straight up propaganda. Doesn't even feel like comedy.
Thanks, 1555. Start over.
You're welcome, white devil trash.
So this next sketch is the one that has the most potential, I think. It's hard to tell because after you're watching so many of these sketches, you're just craving anything that's, you know, not shitty, not completely awful. So I can't tell if it has the most potential or if it's just that it's not completely politically motivated. And it may not surprise you to hear that that potential is not even close to being reached. So it starts off as a little like horror short film. So I thought that was kind of interesting, kind of creative. This lady, she's like running from a monster she can only see when she takes pictures of it on her phone. It's like, okay, I'm pretty sure that's already been done, but yeah, sure, whatever. But then when it transitions, they don't use it at all. So it's like this interesting idea. I like the premise, but again, they just, like whoever's coming up with these ideas for them is great. Whoever's filling in the little jokes and deciding all the details of each sketch, you need to fire that motherfucker pronto. So after 3-4 minutes of horror, we get the reveal. So you go, okay, that's an interesting premise. Never heard that one before. But then the whole sketch just kind of devolves into these guys explaining how they're gonna fuck this demon. And you think, how could that not be funny? And this is actually a pretty interesting question. Like, how do their premises end up being good, but the content is so bad? You know, how does this keep happening in all these sketches? And I think what it is that they think if they have a funny premise, it doesn't really matter what's in it. You just fill in with whatever, because it doesn't matter, because you should be dying at the premise. Or really, the premise should be to start, and then you build all the jokes off of that, instead of the premise being the house that just all this random junk you fill it with lives. But hey, maybe you enjoy it. I encourage you, go check it out. Go check his channel out. Go check some of his other sketches out. You know, maybe he's still kind of emotionally hurt from what Crowder did to him, so maybe he's not feeling comedy lately. Maybe he just felt like this was the thing to fall into. He didn't really have any passion for a sketch show. I don't know. I don't know what's going on here. Well, anyways, guys, this video's way too goddamn long. I gotta get the hell out of here. You guys have a good one.